Objection!
Oh, wait, there we go. And come on, do the thing. There's the thing. That's what I was looking for. Yeah, like I might have spruced up the room just a little bit, You know, getting ready for the extra life stuff. So you know, a little spruce up. Also, I've not actually done a recenter for the camera, so here I'll do that with you guys. Hold on, let me look at the screen. Look at the screen. There we go. Screen, I've perceived the screen. It has been looked at appropriately. Yeah, I'm oddly trying, like, starting to accept my hype, like, for Extra Life. I need to do more. Like, I need to do more, like, as the days build up. Like, I need to do some more TikTok adverts. I need to make some clips to throw up there to kind of, like, you know, get eyes on stream in a very limited amount of time. Hi, Ren. I'm making sure I use both X and Blue Sky. I'm reaching out to friendos about it. Ed actually reached out to me today. It was like, so I'm making a schedule for, you don't mind if I like hype up like the charity stream, do you? I'm like, dude, fuck the fuck out of it. What? Yes, it's doing the thing. It's charity, hype it up. So this is gonna be the setup for the stream. I figured I'd just implement it now. A timer is set, though, you know, if it's very low audience, it won't actually show. I'm pretty sure both exclamation donate. Oh, I should put that in the description. Donate and Extra Life update. There we go. Okay, add those to the title. Those will give you the link as well as the QR code that's over there in the corner. To donate to Extra Life. I do have my sound alerts set and ready for it. Actually, this would be a great time for me to check it. Let's see. Action groups, no. Events, donation. Let's see if this actually works appropriately. Yes, test command.
This is the greatest thing I have ever seen in my life. This is amazing.
Okay, so that's your alert for if whenever someone donates. There you go. You get Jack yells at you. You know, positively yells at you, but still yells at you, which I'm sure for some of you is preferable. I'm not here to judge. I'm just letting you know I understand you. But the one thing I do want to make sure we do is finish up the final episode. We're still technically in the middle of it, but I feel like the next two streams we can get to the end. All right. I was watching Professor. Excuse me. Unplugged Professor last night, and they were finishing up the final case in the fifth Ace Attorney game, which is where you get like Fulbright and the Phantom and all that. And I was like, okay, I'll have this on, and I really want to make sure I see one scene. Like I said, I just want to see one scene. And then I got distracted by working on something else, and when I checked in, the scene had just happened, so I was like, please have VODs, please have VODs, please have VODs. But it is one of my favorite... Yeah, no, it's one of my favorite overall games. Like, there's one case in there that I do not like, but but I feel like of all cases, anyone would agree that it is the weaker of the cases. And there's one case that isn't actually a case; it's two halves. So, but the end case of that game is wonderful. Love it. It worked out for you, yeah. So now we need to get back into this, and where I decided to leave off was we were just about to have Little Thief remake the crime scene. Also, last stream of this was the first stream we've had where 0 mistakes are found. So I feel like we're gonna find a mistake now. I feel like it's necessary. We can't go that long without a mistake in this game. So let's see what happens. Woo! Ooh, I get the voice going. Ooh, ooh. Huh. According to the file, the incident occurred exactly where the plaza is now. Then what are we waiting for? With me, everybody. Big building. All right, Kay. If you could set Mr. Thief in motion. Sure. Looks like there's more than enough here to work with. Where do you want to start? Good question. Let's see. It seems there was an eyewitness. A freelance journalist by the name of Alf Aldown. But apparently, he was killed by the culprit for witnessing the kidnapping. So this is where it all happened. Here? As in the big building? No! Construction of the big building had only begun a year ago. Before that, it had been a piece of abandoned property. And before that... now we're getting the stuff I know. 12 years ago, this place would have been... the happy family home. Their artistry does not look that happy. Oh, like... for retired people? No, it was a place for children without parents. An orphanage, in other words. The president was kidnapped from an orphanage? Yeah, the place was run by Fifi Lagarde. She called it her happy little home. As the proprietor of the institution, I suppose it's understandable she came under suspicion. President Wang, Excelsius winner, and Warren Lagarde. Surely the SS5 incident must be related to our current case. Kay, could you enter the data relating to the murder of Mr. Aldown? It seems sensible to assume that he was killed by whoever kidnapped the president. So if we solve the murder, we solve the kidnapping. Nice. Alright, we're counting on you. Beep boop, beep doop boop boop. What the heck is this? When did I grow to become so blasé towards the people's reactions to Mr. Thief? What we're seeing here in the front yard of the orphanage is the front yard of the orphanage, as it was 12 years ago. At least as far as the police reports describe it. Yeah, this is how it looked when they started investigating at 7 a.m. the morning after the murder. And it seems to have been snowing. When I heard the footprints wound up being pretty important evidence. The snow fell in the daytime the previous day. In other words, before the incident occurred. Meaning that none of the relevant footprints would have been obscured by the new snow. I think we'll need to pay these footprints some special attention. These footprints stopped by the body. I guess that means they belong to Mr. Aldown, right? His feet were pretty big. What's that, about a size 12? According to the file, they were the same size as his shoes. It's a match. These footprints go toward the body and come back. According to the case file, they are thought to be the killers. They're about the size of about size 9. Pretty average, in other words. It seems the police weren't able to track down who the murderer was from them, though. Ooh, Al fell down. The man who witnessed the president's kidnapping. But what exactly did he see? I based this part of the recreation on one of the crime scene photos. It seems he suffered a blow to the back of his head. Yeah, from that brick right there. They figured it must have been taken from here in the yard. It looks like the blood flowed from the head wound and spread over the surrounding area. Here, a gift for you. This is Mr. Haldell's autopsy report. Struck in the head and died around 1 a.m. on February 10th. I must scour the scene. Somebody dropped a yellow flower here. I think this one symbolizes, the desire to steal treasure. Hey, you can't just make these things up. What we can say is it looks to be different from the other flowers in the planter. Oh, so what's it doing here? What indeed? We should examine the planters too. I must be right. Somebody must have stolen it. It's a stolen treasure. Okay. I think this one might actually symbolize the growing anger of a former prosecutor. This cell phone must have belonged to the victim. You're right. Yeah. It says here in the file that Mr. Aldown made a call while he was watching the kidnapping. A call? To whom? His girlfriend. Seems he called her when he saw that the president was there. But she didn't pick up, so he left a message. That's in here too, if you want to hear it. Please! Hey Rosie, it's me. I guess you're asleep already. Anyway, here at the orphanage. Something weird's going on. President Wang is here for some reason. And there's another... Damn it, lights out, so I can't quite see, but... It looked like he was being kidnapped? Anyway, probably nothing, but I thought I should... What were those sounds at the end? I must have been attacked while I was still on the phone. Agent Lang, can I ask you something? Mr. Aldown's girlfriend, what was her name? Ah! There's that connection. A ringer. Rosie Ringer. At least that's what I heard. Just as I thought. Wait, you mean... Her revenge for what happened 12 years ago. All Miss Ring was left with were the memories and personal effects of her lover. And so, seeking revenge on Chairman Winner, she made her appearance at the auction. So she really was out for revenge on Chairman Winner, wasn't she? Perhaps it was for his suppression of the kidnapping. Or perhaps it was because... Wow, it took us, what, 10 minutes to find an egregious spelling mistake. Oh my goodness. Hold on, let's find a page. I need to find a fresh page to write this in. And a pen. Please tell me I didn't get rid of my pen. I had a pen here. Pen? Pen? Oh, there it is. So at 26 minutes... Oh, perhaps it was Bikasua. She thought he was one of the kidnappers. Bikasua. Rosie Ringer's phone detailing what Aldown saw. But wouldn't that mean there are two kidnappers? Like, if the president was there and he's being kidnapped, the person, whoever killed this dude, would not have the ability to kill him in the act of kidnapping someone as large as the president. So, what? This was the brick used in the murder. There's stuff made of bricks all around the yard here. They probably took it from somewhere nearby. I'll fall down, freelance journalist. Killed after witnessing the kidnapping of President Wang. Even in the recreation, it's pretty gruesome. It's even worse in the actual crime scene photos. That's a lot of blood. It seems mostly to come from the back of his head. As you can see, the area is completely caked. Yeah, the autopsy report says that's where he was hit, with the brick. Indeed! I imagine his attacker must have snuck up on him from behind. Looks as if he was clutching something in his right hand. Oh yeah, they mentioned that in the file somewhere. Let's see. According to this, it was a button. A button? Torn from the attacker's clothing, perhaps? So the victim was carrying a camera. Oh yeah, according to the file, they recovered the picture. Yeah, here we are. Oh, yeah, that is clearly a kidnapping. Wait. That doesn't make sense. You get someone standing there, gundaroo to the president, and you have a snowman next to it with clearly the eye dug out, which would be the same eye that he had in his hand. So either you're telling me he needed to grab the button off there before he saw the kidnapping, or this was taken after the kidnapping. Huh. It's the president, right? And somebody's pointing a gun at him. Old Gundaroo. This must be what Mr. Aldown witnessed. So the person in the trench coat is a kidnapper? Yes, I imagine they were trying to conceal their identity. But if Agent Lang's father's theory was correct, the person wearing that trench coat is Warden Lagarde. How come they only found the one picture? He probably wasn't able to take any more before he was attacked. Why would they stage a picture, though? Oh, the blood specifically. Oh, fresh blood, and plenty of it. According to the autopsy report, he died from loss of blood due to the blow in the back of his head. Yes, and that blood spread out all over the entire area. I doubt anyone could have bled that much and survived. Anyway, this certainly seems to confirm what the autopsy report suggests. Okay, I think that's all from... No, it says there's more? I don't think there's anything more we found here. Oh, we might have to come back in here to do something. Okay. Hey, this arch, we've seen it somewhere before, right? Indeed we have! It's the same one that stands over the entrance to the big building. But this is supposed to be how things looked 12 years ago. Was it there the whole time? It seems the architects worked the old archway into the structure of the new building. The future is simply the past reheated. I think I heard that somewhere. And for once, it seems you might have remembered it correctly. Wait. Okay. But 12 years is a long time to reheat something. If it was your lunch, it'd be ruined. It's a porch swing with an elephant's face on it. And behind it is what appears to be a motor. You know what every dedicated swing fiend always wonders, don't you? They can swing all the way over the top and back again. Maybe a motorized swing could finally make that dream come true. Wouldn't that be a little dangerous? And what dream isn't, Nothing ventured, nothing gained. True, but hardly applicable in this case. These planters. According to case file, the odds stretch around 3 sides of the orphanage. and there were 3 planters on each side. Planters arranged in a very particular pattern. One we've seen somewhere before. Shame there aren't many flowers, but I guess it was in the middle of winter. Yes, but look at that one. It's bright yellow. Weird. How come there's only one? Looks like somebody dropped it. That's a lion lily, if ever so much mistaken. So a member of the family Liliaceae. A lion lily, you say? Wait, didn't Judge Gavelle give President Wang some lion lilies? What is the same flower doing here? This can't be a coincidence, can it? I believe this particular cultivar is from Asia, where it says it's to symbolize the bond between parent and child. I wasn't aware you were so knowledgeable when it comes to flowers, Francisca. What I just told you is common knowledge. Perhaps you just need to read a little more. This looks like a snowman, but it's mostly melted. Well, it's no wonder it's all slushy. He's wearing a hat and a scarf. He must... Oh, wow. That's supposed to be must've? That's supposed to be must've! He must have been all roasty toasty. Holy shit, game. You're making up for last stream. What's this? 34 minutes in. He must be been all roasty toasty. Ugh. Aw, and look at his cute little button eye just lying there. You probably would have frozen back up again at dawn, you know. That's when it's usually coldest. I don't think that's would have helped much, Mr. Edgeworth. If a melted snowman froze again, it wouldn't turn back into a snowman. It would turn into an iceman. Oh, what? Is what I bet you wanted me to say, isn't it? Well, too bad. How dare you, Scruffy? Don't you tell me anything. I just deny it anyway. Oh, Mr. Edgeworth, you gotta help me out here, sir. What's the matter, detective? It's about 87 incident. What else? I know Chairman Winner isn't in charge anymore at all. But a top secret file being available to us so quickly after its removal, something seems off. So that got me thinking, and I put in a call. And they told me that, well, that Miss Von Karma went to some pretty extreme lengths to get that file released. Of course you, Scruffy. I deny everything. It sounds like you went to a lot of trouble for our sake, Francisca. Don't worry, your efforts won't be for nothing. I'll solve this case. 3 planters, covered with snow. Is anything the matter, Agent Lang? Yeah, something's not right. I wasn't able to look at the case file until now. Indeed! You have Chairman Window to thank for that, it seems. Yeah, but what's weird is, I've seen this scene somewhere before. What? Where? I keep thinking I've got it, but then it's gone. It appears to be lost in his efforts to remember. Perhaps I should leave him alone for now. Wait, hold on, no. Where's the, wait. Through... There's some sort of connection between Knight and Canis, you know, I'll be pulling Knight into the office, So you do your bit too and retrieve the package we laid to rest 12 years ago. I'm sure it's still right in front of the planter where we left it. Okay, I knew I heard planter somewhere before. Let's go these dialogue options first and then present that file. President Wang changed after the SS5 incident. I guess he felt his trust had been betrayed. I can't understand that. But to cut ties with his family completely. How close we've been for all these years. My father was desperate to make amends. to get just one chance to say sorry. But no matter how many times he tried to get an audience with the president, he couldn't. He couldn't convince them to take his letter. They were kind of being dicks about it. Really rude. Really assholes. They're just a bunch of assholes. Fuck. One time he came home covered in bruises. Who knows from your bodyguard, maybe? Grumble noises. Also, I haven't tried linking my Twitch in Blue Sky, so we're gonna do that now. There we go. Also, I need a drink real bad. Okay. One time, he came home covered in bruises. Yeah, oh, I just took the hydrate. Yeah. Beat you to it. Sorry, there's no point in making you sit through old stories. I won't change anything. I'll be the judge of that, or the prosecutor of that. All warm and fuzzy as ever, I see. Not that I expected anything different. That case ruined my father and my family, too. The people who failed to keep the president safe. That's all we were, after all. He threw himself heart and soul into that investigation. He became obsessed, in other words, hardly the best state of mind in which to undertake an inquiry. You don't really pull your punches, huh? Look, just don't go thinking I'm only doing this because of my dad, okay? That investigation was solid. His work was meticulous, and it was accurate, always was. He interviewed every single one of those kids, and he made sure they told him everything. I wonder if he learned anything of value. In a nutshell, my dad couldn't keep the most important person in Shangfa safe. So he put everything online to try and figure out what happened. He nearly worked himself to death trying to solve that case. Got so bad he looked like a ghost. Maybe it would have been all worth it if he could have gotten the people responsible convicted. But he couldn't, and that Lagarde one got off scot-free. He failed to repay the president for all he'd done for us. He failed to solve the case. And that's how a family of wolves gets pulled into a never-ending nightmare. That's enough for you? It sounds to me like one young cub in particular took his family's downfall very badly. I can only imagine how much of the experience must have hurt him and his father. We will do all we can to bring this case to a conclusion at last, Agent Lang, I promise. And I hope the story you just told us proves a useful clue in doing so. That's all I have to say. I have to pour my heart to you. Why do I waste my time? Hi, you two. Boy, how did this have a scoop? Whole world's gone green. Must have been an outbreak or something. I've seen green trees, green people, green clothes, green everything. They must be real sick. They all clothes are green. Looks like a roundup slap bang middle real dang old place, real dang old time. Sure did, Chief. I don't think we're going to get a word in edgewise, Mr. Edgeworth. And I don't think we want to. Bye. Wait. Is that what the yellow flower meant? Is this supposed to mark what one to dig for whatever they hid? Huh. There are burn marks on this pillar here. The report says that there was a fire sometime on the evening of the incident. A fire? Let's see. Where was it again? Yeah, one of the orphans set a fire with some kerosene. Some sort of prank, probably. They sound like a lively bunch. Possibly too lively. It seems their antics spoiled our chances of finding any footprints near the entrance of the building. Can I help you, Mr. Edgeworth? I cannot thank you enough for returning Sean safely to me. I can hardly bear to imagine how I would have felt if he had not come home. Hey, old guy, can't you see you're upsetting her? That was not my intent at all. Look at our little knight in shining armor defending his mom's honor. Shut up! I wouldn't have to if you didn't keep... That's enough, Sean. Mr. Edgeworth, if you'll allow me, I would like to apologize again. I failed in my duty as a servant of justice. I will not ask you to forgive me. I can only ask you to understand that Judge Capel, I don't presume to know the goddess of justice as well as you do. But she is a mother, was she not? And of other goddesses, of other gods and goddesses? She was. Their judgment requires personal circumstances to be taken into account. I'm sure she would understand. Perhaps your beloved goddess is more merciful than you give her credit for. Thank you, Mr. Edgeworth. What are they even talking about? Don't worry, Sean. I don't have a clue either. They're talking about Epic. Like, it's the newest season of Epic. Is the Goddess of Justice comes down and is like, I fucking hate all of you, and everyone dies. That's how Epic works. Ooh, so things are finally settling down after one of the gods' trial. It would seem so. Sentencing is still to come, but the guilty verdict should stand. And do not worry, Excelsis Winter's connection to the case will be thoroughly investigated. Have faith, Mr. Edgeworth. Eustace is a changed man. Indeed. He simply had some growing to do, but then, don't we all, Kay included? Oh, kind of feel like him now. I can feel for him now. I said some pretty mean things, but I'll make it up the next time I get the chance. And I am sure that chance will come, but for now... Indeed! We need to focus on the case at hand. I have anything to present to her in particular? Can I ask you what these things mean? Night before last, and the reasons for my meeting with the President. I am afraid I must keep my silence for now. Even though you know how crucial that information is to our case. Yes, even in spite of that, forgive me. She's really not going to back down on this one. And I can't see a way to try and convince her to open up. I think my only choice is to drop the matter for now. But allow me to say one thing. Sean's efforts to protect me disrupted your investigation. For that, I can only apologize. Oh, don't worry. It would take more than the lies of a child to throw me off the scent. And besides, not even I'm thoughtless enough to criticize a child for wanting to protect his mother. And besides, what? Oh, it's nothing. Ignore me. No mother for wanting to protect her child. An igloo shaped like a bear. The perfect balance of cuteness and scariness. I guess you could call it a big-loo. It is quite large. You could probably fit in as many as 3 people inside. Yeah, and they could live in there for 3 whole years. 3 years? And what about the summer, when the igloo melt? Again. Say it again, Mr. Edgeworth, please, one more time. Wouldn't the igloo melt? Ah, you're no fun. Oh, looks chillier than your chilliest look out here, Mouse, you know? Probably might have to warm me up. Could you maybe take this a little more seriously, Mr. Fender? You can't master anything. I can't believe this little sorry tale being right here. Kinda crazy, right? Yes, it is a little. What were Phoebes and the chairman up to, though? Where were they going with all this? Where indeed? I'd very much like to know that myself. And I'd very much like to know when you two are going to admit how much you love your Uncle Eddie. Ah, not anytime soon. Come on, Mr. Fender. You're not taking this seriously at all. He did for about 3 sentences, which is something of a record. The tortoise and the hare, inspired by the children's story, no doubt. The tortoise races the speedy hare and wins. Alright, time for K Faraday pop-up pop quiz. Why did the hare lose the race? I'll give you 3 options. I don't need 3 options, K. He lost because he stopped to rest and fell asleep. Number 1, the hare's favorite running shoes were stolen by the Atagrasu. Number 2, the tortoise trained with the Atagrasu and got so fast that he won. Number 3, the real winner was the Atagrasu, who plotted a surprise secret victory. Those are my only 3 options. Too hard? Alright, I'll give you a hint. The option you're looking for starts with a th. Well, that definitely narrows it down. Shifu, I know it's rude for me to ask, but can we count off for old time's sake? Just once, I'm begging you. For old time's sake, seems a little sentimental, but fine. Count off. 1. Sorry, Shifu. It just doesn't feel the same on my own. It's kind of lonely. Ah, fool. It should matter if there's 1 or 100. You may be on your own right here, but the pack is always with you. So quit whining about being lonely and howl like you mean it. Count off. 1. 1. 1. 1. Is he crying? Alright, is there anything left to find before I go looking at my logic? Oh, Dr. Sean. What do you want? Sean, I wonder if you could tell us a little more about the circumstances surrounding your kidnapping. They took you when they went to the garbage disposal, right? But what were you doing there? It's alright. You don't have to talk to him. You can just ask me himself. Hear that, Mr. Edgeworth? I think he started to warm up to you. I went to the garbage disposal to throw away the flowers that were on that body. That wasn't far, and I figured they'd be less likely to find them there than if I threw them in the garbage. I tried to get in there last night too, but it was locked. So, you had to come back today and try again. Yeah, but when I was there, somebody came up from behind me and put something over my face. Oh yeah, snoozing is easy threezy with 3 Z's. The fact that she was drugged with it too doesn't seem to bother her. I guess it is a catchy name. Whoever was pretty strong, but I never saw their face. I see. Thank you. That's pretty helpful. What can you tell us about the time between when you were kidnapped and when you were found? Not a whole lot, I'll bet. Snoozing the easy 3Z. I remember waking up feeling cold. I was somewhere big and empty and dark. There was cardboard boxes with some of the language written on them. I figured it'd be a storeroom. It was actually a giant refrigerator. Businesses use them to keep stuff chilled. And that's why Kane and Gumshoe found him. They really saved the day there. Guess the cooler must have been on until just before it was brought there. Like I said, it's pretty cold. Anyway, they didn't take my phone for some reason. So I used it to call for help. I see. Well, we're all very glad you all found your way back to us safely. Say it like you mean, oh, I don't, you know. He's not the most gracious child I've ever met. Reminds me of certain someone. So that's where our monster's hoof prints really were. Wait, what? Recall the arrangement of the prints, now compare it to that of the planters. Oh. That's right! I believe the footprints are located exactly where our planters once stood. So Chairman Winner was digging around the front of them. He was! And why might he have been doing that? We have a piece of evidence in our possession that answers exactly that question. Oh, the night report. This is where it comes in.
Take that!
Recall, if you will, the report that Warden Lagarde sent to Chairman Winner. In it, she mentioned something that had been laid to rest in front of a planter. You think she was telling him where to dig? Wait, but why 3 holes? Because the report didn't specify which of the planters. I get it. So he wasn't sure which one it was. Which meant he had to try and dig up all 3. I imagine so, yes. Poor Chairman Winner. But why go to all that trouble? What was he looking for? I think that's about all we can learn from the scene now. Alright, how about I show you how things looked earlier that night? That'd be very much appreciated. Could you take us back to the moment at which the victim witnessed the kidnapping? Sure, I'll use the photograph he took. But there's already something wrong with this. There's Mr. Aldowd in the middle of the planters. And there's the president as a kidnapper out by the road. My father based his investigation on the evidence Aldowd provided. That was why he thought the kidnapping and the orphanage were connected somehow. And how he wound up suspecting Fifi Lagarde. She was the one running the orphanage at the time. Exactly. But when the case went down and went to trial, Celsius Winner put a big hole in that theory. He did! Yeah, after all, the president and kidnapper weren't actually on the grounds of the orphanage. So it's hard to conclusively prove any kind of connection. So they were never seen inside the gates of the orphanage. Detectives must have got to find evidence on the scene. And then prosecutors come along and twist it for their own ends. Winner and Lagarde were working together. That's some kind of deal. Sure of it. So you're saying that Chairman Winner was working with the kidnapper? Your father was convinced that Lagarde was the culprit, correct? And you say that he was gifted and thorough. He was a gifted and thorough investigator. Then he must have had more to support his theory than Mr. Aldowd's message, surely. Yeah, he must have. I just don't know what it was. It wasn't exactly a case he liked talking about. Agent Lang's father, Da Long Lang. Trusted ally and confidant to President Wang. He discovered truths that were subsequently suppressed by Chairman Winner. Our first priority should be to find out what they were. Didn't expect anything catches my attention. Hey, that snowman. It was melted in the simulation of the morning after the murder. And that muffler was all wet, and its little button eyes had fallen off. Indeed, it still looks reasonably healthy at this point. Although not entirely. I can see one thing that's missing. Oh, poor guy, I bet some kid took it as a prank. Not a bad piece of thieving, though. Maybe it has potential. You think, well, the orphans took it? I'm not so sure. In fact, I think it was grabbed by somebody else entirely. Alright, now we're going to flip this on its head. Because this puts the timing of everything way off. This snowman is missing a certain something, wouldn't you say? Yeah, his right eye. Indeed! Luckily, we've managed to locate it. The button Mr. Aldowd was holding. Look at that. It's the same type of button as the other eye and everything. And if we suppose that the button was indeed the snowman's missing eye, that presents something of a contradiction. What does this button contradict? Doesn't contradict the snowman's location. I don't know if it contradicts the victim's location necessarily. So maybe the president's location? Look at the photo again. Well, it's either the victim or the presence location. The victim was clutching the button, and the button was covered with his blood, which means he must have grabbed it after being attacked. Let's run a little hypothetical, shall we? What if, after being struck, Mr. Aldown lost his balance and reached out to grab something to steady himself, the snowman? The snowman wouldn't have supported him, so he would have grasped the button and continued falling. I get it. So you're saying that he was near the snowman when he was attacked? I am! Within arm's reach, to be precise. And he's currently nowhere near that close. Right, but his footprints only go as far as the planter. He never came back this way. Maybe he never entered to begin with. Huh. What if they weren't his footprints? I think we need to look at the prints again. Alright, I'll take us back to the scene when Mr. Alden's body was found. But the footprints on the left definitely match Mr. Alden's shoes, right? So what's the deal? Let's take another look and see if we can figure it out. Can we really be sure that these are Mr. Aldown's footprints? Well, they're the same size, a 12, which is pretty big, and the prints match his shoes. They also go straight to the middle of the planters where his body was found. But, as we've established, when he was attacked, he fell and grabbed the button from the snowman. Well, being the great thief, I know a few contortionist tricks, but that would be beyond even me. Some average Joe stretching his arms that far, basically impossible. I think we can be reasonably certain that the prints were made by the shoes that the victim was wearing. But can we be certain that they were actually the victim's shoes? Perhaps we should take another look at them. These shoes, as the case files say, they match the footprints, but... they aren't the victim's shoes, I'm sure of it. What do you mean? Look at how the laces are tied. Don't they look a little strange to you? What's more, they don't appear to fit properly. So these prints, they go right up to where the victim was found, and they stop right by his feet. But they didn't actually belong to him. So all the prints by his head, the ones that lead away and come back? No, I don't think so. They're too small. So neither set belonged to him. Then how did he get here? That's easy enough. He didn't walk. He was carried by the killer. So then, where did the murder take place? Was it really over by the snowman as we suspected? I think Mr. Alden's body was moved. How else do we explain the button clutched in his hand? And that would suggest that he was killed somewhere near the snowman. I'd better take a closer look. Size 9 footprints going toward the body and away from it. The case file says that he must have belonged to the murderer. They grow fainter as we get closer to the orphanage gates. That's just because there's less snow over there, no? Be that as it may, it certainly doesn't help in matching the prints with the name and face. Poor Snowman, he's not looking good. Can't be helped. Snow and ice melt eventually. That's just how it is. And so do mysteries. All we have to do is wait. The snowman of the case will melt into the clear water of truth. All you have to do is wait, Kay. I have to work to solve those mysteries. So there are planters outside the orphanage gates too. Oh look, they plant stuff like flowers in winter under all the snow. Indeed, a little frigid, but tasteful nonetheless, even if this is a simulation. Yes, indeed. A bit frosty looking, but tasty nonetheless. For simulation. Oh, a missing brick. Huh? Look, there's a brick missing here. The rest of the brickwork looks fine. Strange, there's just one is missing. Yeah, strange that. Really strange. Seems quite likely that the missing brick was one used in the murder, wouldn't you say? Oh yeah, now that you mention it, they're the exact same shape and size. I think we have to conclude that the murder actually happened over by the snowman. Right, the button came from there, and the brick too. Indeed! And what's more, the murderer took the brick from right by the snowman, and then tried to sneak up on the victim all the way over by the planters. Miss Eldown would have seen them right away. Exactly! I think we need to update the simulation, Kay. Mr. Eldown wasn't standing by the planters, he was next to the snowman. Gotcha, alright, here goes. Yeah, no matter how you look at it, this just doesn't work. Indeed! Everyone who's present is in the exact same spot. So, where did we go wrong? One of the pieces of evidence on which we base our simulation must be the source of the problem. What if one of them was faked somehow? Which one was? I think I know. Can we really be certain that this picture was taken by Mr. Eldown? Huh? What do you mean? We know that whoever killed him moved his body. But why would they have done that? What if they wanted to make it seem like you saw something he didn't? And then they took the photo to help back up the lie. They had the president at gunpoint. They could easily have forced him to pose for the picture. He would have had no choice but to comply. Hey, now that you mention it, they only recovered one picture from Mr. Eldown's camera. We have ads starting soon. I'm gonna BRB so you guys don't miss anything, alright? Be right back. Alright, we're back now. Welcome back from ad. Make sure everything's still working. Yep, okay. Let's see. Alright, so they only recovered one picture from Aldown's camera. Indeed! I imagine his killer probably removed the film that was already in there, then replaced it with another, thereby ensuring that the only picture found was the one they staged. Yeah, that makes total sense. So this picture was actually taken after Miss Aldown was killed. No way! And there you have it. The picture doesn't show what Mr. Aldown saw at all. It seems highly likely that it was simply staged to make us believe that was the case. Wait, so where was the president when Mr. Aldown thought he saw what he was being... thought he saw him being kidnapped? Luckily, the photograph isn't the only piece of evidence we can use to try and figure that out. Oh yeah, he left that voicemail. He did! I think we should listen back to the one more time, don't you? Well, the president and his kidnapper could have been standing. Did you literally just say we should listen to it one more time?
Take that!
Recall the statement from Mr. Aldown's voicemail. Damn, the light's out. 2 of the lights here in the yard are broken. Yeah, he must have talked about the one over by the building. Alright, could you update the simulation to reflect everything we've learned? Sure. And there we have it. The kidnapper's really standing over at the building. Yes, which would certainly have strengthened the theory that they were connected to the orphanage. So they moved the body and staged a photograph to distort the picture painted by the voicemail, which helped them undermine the idea the orphanage was involved in the case. Well, that certainly changes what this particular part of the simulation tells us. I imagine it will also affect our understanding of the events from when the body was found. Only one way to find out. Ready to make the jump? To switch between the 2 recreations, I need to first press D talk to Kit. I'll do it between the planters at all. Alright. Yep, to switch. Da 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 da. Switch. And there we have it. Must scour the scene. Alright, anything double? Yes, I'm just going to kind of skip over. The pond being painted. It was the bond being between parent and child. Blood on the snow, and a lot of it. It certainly looks as if a murder occurred here, doesn't it? Wait, but we just figured out that Mr. Aldown was killed by the snowman. We did! I think this blood might belong to somebody else. What? But the police report said the blood was Mr. Aldown's. Need I remind you that the case was overseen by Chairman Winner? The man would have had no scruples about altering the official record over something so small. And then why go to all the trouble? Couldn't he just cleaned up the blood instead? He wasn't able to. Think about it. He knew that this was where the police would find Mr. Aldown's body. And he knew the police would have certain scientific methods at their disposal to look for clues.
Oh, you mean luminol? Yeah, they would have found traces of blood if they used that for sure.
Exactly! He wouldn't have been able to clean it up to the point where it was undetectable. Far easier to falsify the results of any such tests when they came back in. It would simply have been a matter of replacing the official results with a doctored copy.
Eesh, so we've been looking at a forgery this whole time. That sucks. Wait, but it says Mr. Alden's clothes were covered in blood too.
It does! And if they were, which seems entirely believable, it suggests that whomever's blood this is, it wasn't yet dry when Mr. Alden's body was placed here.
I get it, which means that the other person's blood was spilt not long before Mr. Alden was killed.
I think it does, yes. But if that's the case, doesn't that present something of a contradiction? Oh, we can deduce. Whose blood could it be then? Yes, sir, you're asleep already. Something weird was here for some reason, and there's another. I can't quite make it out, but it looks like he was being kidnapped. Anyway, probably nothing, but I thought I should let you know. Sole witness was murdered. Bug. Possessions. Years ago. Truck. Huh.
This is the only part where there's no snow.
Because of the fire, one of the kids said. I imagine the snow here melted as a result.
This must be the unluckiest orphanage in the world. First a fire, then a murder. Talk about going from bad to worse.
Hmm? The fire came first, but just because it caused the snow to melt. Wait, what? Wait, say that again. But just because it caused the snow to melt. Is it pointing me to present the fire?
Eureka!
Yeah, okay, yep, because the blood is cut off. Ooh, there's a clear contradiction here.
In the bloodstain.
The blood is clearly cut off from when the snow was melted by the fire. Which means that the blood in question was spilt before the fire was started.
Ah, but the fire happened for the murder, no?
If we choose to believe the case file, yes. But if the fire was set after what happened here...
The kid who lit it might have seen something.
Then why isn't there a witness statement? Because that would have challenged Chairman Winner's version of events.
Oh, we need to know more about this fire.
Ew. Yes, Shifu.
The fire might have been reported to the police, which means there might be a record of it. Go see if you have anything, and bring everything you find back here.
Understood, Sifu. I'll get right on it.
Oh, one more thing.
What is it?
Contact my family back in Shangfa. Tell them to search my father's office. There should be something related to the case.
There should. What kind of something exactly?
I told you I'd seen the scene before, didn't I? Well, I remembered where. It was in my father's office. He had a picture of it, Or at least of something very much like it.
What?
And look, I was drawn by a child.
Possibly a child from the orphanage. Possibly even the child who set the fire.
It should still be there somewhere. Tell them to send it right away.
Yeah, Shifu. Ba-ding. Switch back. Because this should change how we see the scene. These are Mr. Aldan's footprints. Well, they're the same size, 12, which is pretty big. And the prints match his shoes. They also go straight to the middle of the planters. Oh, we're just repeating the same thing. Okay. Oh, I should go take a look at the shoes then, huh? They appear to have been... Oh, no. I already looked at the shoes. These planters. According to the case file, the odds stretch around 3 sides. Oh, it's repeating the same stuff again. But not giving me a check for some reason. Yep. We're going through the same thing again. I suppose, like... Yeah. Also, I will note, though, seeing the snow on the ground, there was, like, a very, very, very brief flurry this morning, like, right at kid drop-off. I found out real quick which of my kids like snow. Like, one of them was really excited. Alright. Can we... Oh, I can investigate this scene? There's no mistaking it. This is where Mr. Aldan actually took his picture. Before being attacked by the murderer with a brick from the planter just behind him. After being attacked, he collapsed, grabbing the snowman's right eye as he fell. What if... Wait. Because... Fifi mentioned the planter. But if Fifi was the one who killed the witness, the planter in her mind, the one that would be the most prominent, the most, like front and center, would be where she got the murder weapon from. So what if her planter was actually denoted to... Because he obviously didn't know which planter it was. Just in front of a planter. So he would have thought the 3 planters, or the 9 planters around. What if she actually meant the ones out front on the road? Because that's the one that sticks out to her. Huh. Thoughts? Which means his body would have been there at first, and not where we thought it was before. Indeed! We should examine the area where we previously thought he fell. Never seen this again. Keep things a little less subjective, Kay? Okay, so it's still the same. It's the same items in, like, but in the other, quote-unquote, other simulations, so it gets changed around. Is there new logic to be... Hi, baby. He likes I moved his scratching thing. There are burn marks on this pillar here. Fire sometime in the evening of the incident. This is where Mr. Aldon actually saw the person in the kidnapper. Yes! Which pretty clearly suggests a link between the kidnapping and the orphanage. I can see why so much trouble was taken to suggest it happened elsewhere.
Yeah, they pulled some really dirty tricks there. Taking a photo like that, that's just cheating.
Not to mention disposing of Mr. Aldon's camera film and forcing the president to pose at gunpoint. They must have put in some new film, then stage a photo immediately afterwards.
And if Mr. Chandler Winner was involved, he could have changed or hidden other evidence.
It certainly doesn't help that the SS5 case file was classified until recently.
Yeah, but he's behind bars now, and the truth is coming out last.
Indeed! Although, much still remains unclear. We need to look very closely at the differences between this and the previous simulation. Alright, let's switch back again. Why is it? It's still saying there's something here. Even though there's nothing else here. So this is where Mr. Aldon really met his fate. But he was moved in order to make the scene consistent with the staged photograph. Over to the spot between the planters.
So the footprints, the fact that they go over there and come back?
Yes, it seems they tell us something important. That they were left by whomever carried him over there. Notice this again. Did not actually mean to do that. Oh, wait, what?
The body where it should be now, over by the snowman. Kinda sad, nobody's been here anymore, huh?
No, okay, not even slightly. Now that the body is gone, there may be new clues for us to discover. Let's go over the scene with a fine-tooth comb once more.
Yes, sir, understood.
Oh, now I have the check mark. Okay. Do I connect these two? No, I was supposed to connect those the whole time. If Chairman Winter was involved in President Wang's abduction, it seems likely that what we dug up yesterday had something to do with the kidnapping.
Oh, I get it.
You do?
You bet I do. We're talking treasure, right? Loot. You must have been digging up the ransom money.
The ransom money? $100 million is an awful lot of cash. Burying it would have been a good way to keep it hidden until the heat died down. It certainly seems like a possibility.
Glad you agree.
Investigation complete. Wow. Chief, I'm back. I brought everything the police had on fire. on the fire. And I also brought the picture from your father's office. Oh, no more.
About time. What kept you? Well, hand it over.
Let's take a look at this mysterious picture, shall we?
This is it. This is a picture I remember.
Could this be a depiction of something that happened on the night of the incident?
It sure looks like a kid drew it.
Yes, and I'm willing to bet it's the work of a child who set the fire. Chifu, there's...
What now? Look, you'll have to wait, okay, Mr. Prosecutor? Why do you think my father kept this?
I imagine he acquired it at some point during investigation. Although I've no idea why he would have chosen to keep it to himself. Could we see the case file for the fire, too?
Sure, here.
If you'll just give me a moment to read through it. It seems the boy who started the fire snuck out of bed on the evening of the incident. And then disappeared several days later.
What? Must have been because he saw something, right? No, kid, really? That's horrible.
But sadly not unimaginable.
Huh? Looks like the kid left something behind that it was put in evidence. What's this?
But what's it doing in the case file?
What is it, Mr. Prosecutor? Have you seen this somewhere before?
Something very much like it, yes. We have a piece of evidence that could very well be connected. That's why the chairman was carrying this the whole time? I don't know what it was doing in the evidence for that case, but it looks like that might be the missing hold for this soft toy.
Hey, that's President Wang's.
You've seen it before?
Of course, he always kept it somewhere close by. I remember because of the missing piece.
I see. It has a special device inside that plays recorded sound when you twist the horn.
Hey, do you think that maybe putting the horn back might unlock some recordings?
Haha, you never know. The toy itself should be up on the 51st floor.
Hey, you're the man.
Yes, Shifu, I'll go fetch it right away. Here it is, Shifu. The Torosaurus doll.
Good work, and the prosecutor.
Well, does the whole family orphanage fit the president's plushie?
It fits perfectly. And any more recordings on there?
Hi, Dijun. Sorry, President Wang. It's me, Emily. I know it's been a while. I saw on the news that you were visiting the country soon. And I didn't know whether I should get in touch at all, but in the end I decided I had to.
Turn it off right now.
What's going on, Judge Gavel?
Are you okay?
Just turn it off, please.
You see, I had a baby, a beautiful little boy. You're a beautiful little boy. I'm sorry, that's pretty much all I wanted to tell you. Oh, except I called him Sean. Sean Fenn. It has a nice ring to it, don't you think?
Oof. Sean Fenn!
The kid?
And also that I'll be at the orphanage on the evening of the 9th. I'll be waiting in the front yard. I thought you could meet him if you like, even if it's only just this once. I know you're a very busy man, but anyway, that's where we'll be. Goodbye. What? He was my dad?
I'm so sorry, Sean. Care to explain what the heck's going on, Gavel? Sean isn't my biological son. I adopted him.
And he was aware of this.
Yes, of course. His mother, Emily Fenn, she died 5 years ago. We were cousins, but we were also friends, the best of friends. People often mistook us for sisters.
Thank fuck he's adopted. Because I did not like the age implications of when she would have been a mother.
And so, when she died, it seemed only natural that Sean should come and live with me. Of course, we had to keep his father's identity secret, and I decided the best way to do that would be for him never to know in the first place.
That's quite a lot to learn from a recording made on a seemingly innocent toy. I guess Sean's mother must have recorded the message and then sent the plushie to the president.
Hey. Yes, Sean.
You sure? He was really my dad?
Yes, I'm sure. Before you were born, your mother worked for a time as a diplomat in Shangfa.
Makes sense. That line of work might well have brought her in contact with the president. What? You told me she worked at the orphanage.
She did, but only after she returned. After she quit the diplomatic service. She always loved helping others. The orphanage was perfect for her.
Sorry, Gavel, but I have to ask. Emily, the lady who asked the president to come. Why didn't she show up herself? Why isn't she anywhere in the Fire Lady SS5?
She never made it to the rendezvous that night. Someone was tailing her.
I'll bet that was Chairman Winner's doing. Though sadly we can't prove it.
And because she couldn't make it, she never saw the president again.
Then she died 5 years ago. This can't be easy for Sean.
Hey, Sean, are you thirsty? You could get a soda. My treat, okay? Come on. I think I saw a vending machine over.
You think I can't buy a soda? This is important. It's about me. I'm staying. Shut the fuck up. Fucking end you.
Oh, that didn't work at all. Sean, perhaps now you can guess why I met with the president 2 nights ago.
So that's it. That was the big secret.
I wanted to tell him face to face that Emily was gone. But also that you were alive and well. More than well.
But I... It makes sense now. No wonder Judge Gavel was so keen to avoid sharing the details of their meeting.
Yeah, she would have had to share the truth about Sean. That was why I took the lion lilies with me. So there would be no doubt that I knew Emily, that I knew her well. These flowers bore special significance for the two of them, you see. President Wang gave Emily a bouquet of lion lilies on the early days of their romance. But now he too is gone. If only he had lived, Sean might finally been able to get to know him.
I'm assuming that's actually the reason for his whole trip out here, like on top of other things. Chief-O! I've been waiting for the right time to tell this, but...
What is it? You've been hovering there the whole time. Can't it wait?
They sent something else from Shangfa. President Wang's will.
What?
The president's will! Well, after that came up with a new one just for him. In the end, there was no medals left to give, so he made us the keepers of his last will and testament. At duty, they are our greatest pride, our family jewels. Oh, he's reading it.
What? This is...
What is it, Agent Lang? Does it have anything to do with our current case?
You could say that. Seems he was planning on publicly acknowledging Sean as his son. Sean's name appears in the president's will.
And we're certain that the document is authentic, that President Wang wrote it himself.
Sure we are. It's all, but it's real. My family took charge of it before the SS5 incident. They'll want to analyze it back home for sure, but stick my name on it being the genuine article.
Wang was a renowned world leader. A child nobody knew about would have been sure to cause a stir. And yet, he chose to mention his child in his will nonetheless.
Well, that's that, I guess. I still can't quite believe it, but the president confirmed it with his own hand. There's no denying it. Sean, you're President Wang's son. You're a mini Wang. Sean.
Oh, bye, Sean. Sean! Jason! Jason! Sean! Okay. Like most everyone's like chill. Kay just looks like death.
Sean.
He was my dad. It can't have been easy learning the truth about his father's identity so unexpectedly. And too late to ever get to know him. You know how hard I tried to find him?
John.
I get it. He was a president. He had a lot more to think about than me. But he was right in front of me. Right there on set. So why didn't he just say something? Why didn't he tell me who he was?
I'm sorry, Sean. I'm so sorry.
It's not your fault. Mine. If I hadn't broke my promise to you, that fire would have never happened and he wouldn't have... Wait, the fire? Sean started the fire? At the orphanage? I ruined everything. Everything. It's all my fault. I even ruined your flowers.
Sean. Please, you mustn't blame yourself. Just try to be here with me. Just for a little while. A bond between parent and child, as symbolized by the lion lily. I'm no expert, but it's native Shangfa, so I know that much at least.
Sadly, we don't have the luxury of dwelling on such things just now. I know it might seem insensitive, Ancient Lang, but sentimentality won't help us here. We need to focus on what we can do about the case before us.
You're right.
I believe we learned all we need to about what happened back then for now. How did it all line up with your father's theories about the case?
Wouldn't know. He took those to the grave with him. He never shared his thoughts with anybody. There's no way of knowing now what he figured out.
What about your own thoughts? Are you feeling any more positive in light of what we learned about Kay's reconstruction? Are we any closer to learning what really happened 12 years ago?
You know, I think we might be. My father's footsteps are starting to come clear. Now all we need to do is follow them. All the way to the truth.
SS5 Vincent. I like how these two are using a cross-examination to actively put their theories against one another and peel it apart to see where the truth lies and stuff like that. Like this is usually what like a cross-examination is used for, but it's used in defense or an attack. Here they're using it as a jumping off point to test theories and put them to like scrutiny. And I like that.
The president went to the orphanage that night. That much we know for sure. The Torosaurus toy proves it. He must have gone there to meet with Amelia Fenn. Except he was kidnapped, and Eldon happened to see it. If Eldon hadn't been there, there wouldn't have been a murder, just a kidnapping. Instead, they had to move his body to the planters and stage that photo, throw everyone off the scent.
Well, that's all good theory, is it?
Something I still don't understand.
There is.
Why risk staging the picture? They would have had to force the president to play along. What if he hadn't?
It's a good question. And we may be closer to discovering the answer than we think. We'll just have to get there one deduction at a time.
I guess we will. Alright, deduce away.
If that much we know for sure.
Hold it!
The plushie. It has a recording device concealed inside it.
It does. And it was used by Sean's mother, Emily.
To record a message asking the president to meet her at the orphanage at midnight.
Oh, you're finishing each other's sentences now. What a team. You two will peel away the layers of the truth like an onion, I'm sure of it.
You do realize that there's nothing underneath all the layers of an onion, don't you, Kay? Could you try to say something a little less unfortunate sounding?
You two will peel away the layers of the truth like the skin of a wolf, I'm sure of it.
He said less unfortunate sounding. Shall I continue? Wait, no, I know Sean did set a fire, or he believes he set a fire up by the giant Torosaurus head that fell, right? But I am actively thinking that he set the fire at the orphanage as well.
Hold it!
Could we go over the details once again? So Mr. Aldown saw the person being kidnapped right by the orphanage.
And he was standing next to the snowman.
The murderer crept up behind him, grabbed a brick and a woo. Calm down, Kay. Was simply verifying our understanding of the events.
Yeah, well, that little outburst just blew my understanding out of my ears. I know, we have to go over all this again, but can we do it less dramatically?
Really? Fine. I'm happy to keep answering if you're happy.
Hold it!
If Mr. Aldown hadn't been there, huh? That's an interesting suggestion. Care to explain? There's not a whole lot to explain. He saw the kidnapping, so he was murdered. If he hadn't been there, maybe the kidnapping could have happened without any blood being spilled. But could it?
Makes it sound as if it's Mr. Outdown's fault he was murdered.
That's not what Agent Lang is saying, Kay. What he means is that Mr. Aldown was the only person who died at the orphanage that night.
Well, of course he was. They kidnapped the president and everything. But the ransom was paid and he came home safely, right?
She's right, of course, but why does something bother me about that? I think it might be worth it taking a look over all the evidence. Finish discussing things with your assistant, Mr. Prosecutor. There wouldn't have been a murder as a kidnapping. And there's still a big thing that's fishy about this. What happened years ago? Hold on, there's a reason we have this again. Their whereabouts are unknown. Wait. Carmelo, so the killer, and Artie Frost, the victim, sons would both visit up until the day before the incident. From the day of the incident onward, their whereabouts are unknown. Is that why there's a frost ring in Knight's possession? Wait, how old is Knight? Is Knight's profile in here? It is. He was 24. Is it? Knight's one of the two sons. Knight is one of the two sons. 24. It works out. 18 years ago, he would have been 6. So who else would be the same age then? You had 2 sons, right? Who else would it have been around like the same age? Could it have been Simeon? Oh my word, I wish I had that picture again. God, I wish I had that picture again. You know, fuck it. Hold on. I'm going into like a web browser. Hold on. Ace Attorney investigations to evidence. case 3. Images. Is there... Do you have a picture of the suns here? Carmelo... Photograph? Can I put photograph in? Photograph. Hold on, I'm trying to find this. What if I put in Carmelo? Okay, there it is. Hold on. I'm gonna move this. I'm gonna look at the profiles. So I have it up on my other screen right now. I want to say Bronco's one of the two sons, but I don't know which one it would be. Simeon would work for one. And I'll be honest, Rosie Ringer looks very close to one of them, but like that doesn't make sense. That's my current theory. I want to say Bronco might be one of the two sons. I still have to actually get past this point. Right, if Eldon would have been there would have been a kidnapping. But that doesn't make sense because we found it happened. The blood wasn't Eldon's. Yeah. You're saying there would have been no murder if Miss Eldon hadn't witnessed the kidnapping. But is that really the case? Why wouldn't it be? Their main aim was to abduct the president, right? So if there hadn't been a witness present, then there wouldn't have needed to murder anybody. And yet, it remains possible that Mr. Eldon wasn't the only person killed that night. There was a large pool of blood between the planters, but Mr. Eldon was murdered by the snowman. It can't have belonged to him. What if all that blood by the planters belonged to somebody else? Come on, Mr. Prosecutor. You do realize what you're saying? I do. It's hard to believe, I'll be the first to admit it. But it's what the evidence suggests. Not just one person was killed here 12 years ago, but two. You're saying they covered a whole separate murder. But who else was killed that night? Whoever covered up this other homicide did so very skillfully indeed. They even seem to have been able to avoid being mentioned in the files. But they didn't quite get rid of everything. We have a piece of evidence from 12 years ago that they never managed to erase. This clearly shows that something else happened that night. Ooh.
Take that!
And plus these Winter tried to shroud the existence of the other murder in the darkness. But there's one piece of evidence he wasn't able to suppress, thanks to the efforts of your father, Agent Lang. My father. Cast your mind back, if you will. Something else was hidden along with all the other evidence from the crime scene. The existence of the child who set the fire in front of the orphanage. But why would Chairman Winner wish to erase him from the record? Because he saw something he should not have, that's why. He did? What was it? It's right here in the picture. The picture my father kept. Oh. I didn't catch it the first time. But the black dog and the blonde and the... Yeah, that's Bodhi. Wait. So Bodhi's involved in this, but he failed to actually assassinate the president? What? But then wait, who then what was all the blood then? What? I'm confused. I think we can all agree that the president on the right hand, that's the president on the right hand side, and that the torso's toy in his hand. But who's that standing across from him?
Take that!
Eastern robes and a black dog? That can only be Bodhidharma Canis. What? The creepy assassin guy? And what would Hyde Killer be doing in the presence of the president? I can think of only one thing. That's right. It wasn't a kidnapping that occurred here 12 years ago. It was an assassination.
And Warren Lagarde and Chairman Winner were...
Yes, I think they were complicit. More than complicit, in fact. One provided the venue for the killing, and the other suppressed the testimony of the child who witnessed it. Mr. Eldown was murdered because what he witnessed was actually an assassination, and not the kidnapping he thought it to be at all.
Do you think I'm an idiot? How could the president have died 12 years ago? We only found his body this morning. He was alive and well until recently. Yeah, we even met him.
Indeed! So we have a president killed 12 years ago, and a president killed in the last 48 hours. 2 presidents, in other words.
Right, which is completely impossible.
Or is it? I think it's entirely possible for there to be 2 presidents. In fact, that would explain a lot. Respected him. Chang Fa may have been not in custody, but he held that place together. The president Ancient Lang spoke of was a noble and capable leader. Entirely unlike the man we met. It really did seem as if we were 2 completely different people. But how can one country have 2 presidents? What could explain a situation like that? This is how it's possible there to be 2 presidents. They were twins. One was a body double. It was a mistaken identity? I mean, there's a lot there. Did they kill the wrong person? This is one of those choices where it's like, you need to make a jump. And I don't like it. So we're gonna save. Because I want to say mistaken identity. If they were 2 different people, they were twins. We'll start with twins. Alright. I don't like losing points to, like, blind jumps. One of the 2 was a body double. Tell me that doesn't make sense. A body double. President Wang was a man of great power and influence in Chengfa, a figure on the world stage. There must have been countless attempts on his life over the years, such as the one at Gourd Lake only a few days ago.
It's true. There were a few assassination attempts. But that doesn't mean I'm about to accept that there was more than one president. Not without proof.
Do we have any proof that there is more than one president? Extreme pressure. Right hand. We still haven't figured out why he had gunshot residue on his hand. That's something I think we really do need to keep in mind. Evidence that there was a body double. Some sort of connection between Knight and Canis. So you do your bit, retrieve the package we laid to rest 12 years ago. That's what the package is! It's the other body! Yo. Are they the wait? Are these shoes the other president's shoes? Hold on, let's try it.
Take that!
Nope. Okay. I'm still gonna save here because, like, yeah. I keep not hitting the button because I'm bouncing my... I occasionally when I get really excited, I just start bouncing my leg a bit. So, like, the mouse is, like, moving slightly. There's more than one president. Ba, 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 da, 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 da. President's presence at embassy until midnight confirmed. They were at midnight. Wait. Blood from blow back in the head. Huh. I feel there's a part of this that I need to infer. Alright, it has to be one of these two, I believe.
Take that!
I don't think he knows the contradiction is staring him in the face. Or is he just unable to accept it? What's the matter, Mr. Prosecutor? You're pretty quiet all of a sudden. In Emily Fenn's recording, she asked the president to be at the orphanage at midnight. But it shouldn't have been possible for him to be there at that time. How come? Because he was supposedly still at the embassy. With your father, Agent Lang. So, he had noticed. The only way he could have been in two places at once is if there were two of him. So the real president, that was the one who died 12 years ago? I think it might have been. But why and who would have hired Canis to murder the president? In order to figure that out, we'll need to look again at that piece of evidence we recently discovered was a fake. The fake evidence, what was it again?
Take that!
The picture taken with Mr. Aldown's camera was staged sometime after his murder, and Mr. Aldown was murdered because he witnessed the president's assassination. In other words, the photograph too must have been taken after the real president's death. So, who is the president in the staged photograph? The body double? Nothing else makes sense. I believe the president's double had him killed so that he could take his place permanently. An Excelsius winner and Fifi Lagarde helped him do it. Wait, you don't even have a body to support that theory. Are you telling me it magically disappeared? No, in fact, we know exactly where it wound up. The president's body was here the whole time.
Take that!
Oh, come on, that has to be it. The president's body was here the whole time. Was it in the print that he found? I'm assuming it's the print.
Take that!
Chairman Winner dug something up last night. Something he couldn't trust anyone else to retrieve. We thought it might have been the ransom money, but it was actually something even more important.
Wait, you mean...
That's right! The real president's body. I think it's highly likely anyway.
What?
The body may have decomposed in the intervening years, but the bones would surely remain. Mr. Powers informed us that construction is due to start here sometime soon. Everything had to be wrapped up before then. And shooting of the movie and the recovery of the president's remains.
Yeah, I guess once they started digging the place up, they would have found them pretty quick.
Agent Lang, we need you to have the so-called monster footprints analyzed again.
Yeah, I guess we do. If there's a body under one of them, there should be traces evidence to confirm it. Get somebody from forensics.
Alright, ad break starting in 5 seconds. We'll pause here so you guys don't miss any of the exciting final case.
So,
had one other thought before we jump right back into this again. How does Shelly the Killer fit into this? Because like he has some connection with this in regards to Canis. So why though? Like, what's his connection with this entire thing? I don't know. Like, I'm curious to see why he's so interested in this whole scenario.
Objection!
And then BB came in. Ba-ba-na-ba-ba-ba. Your timing is actually pretty good. Da-da-na-na-na-na-na-na-na-na-na-na. Hi, baby. Hello, friend. How are you, friend? You see that good friend there? They're good friend. They are delightful. Convention. We're now co-staffers. We now co-staff the same convention. They work one part, and then I work the other part. And I get to be on stage and be like, "Ooh, look at me!" And everyone looks at me and they like me. Oh, hello everyone. I'm Goggle Kenny. I'm your VTube lawyer attorney. Whatever fake legal advice you feel you might want or need, you should not get from me. But in case you do, I would still ask you to wait until Saturday, then come by again. I am taking part in Extra Life game day on Saturday. I've been saving and holding on to the new Zelda game until then and just playing it all day with a bit of a Fall Guys squad group for the evening. Though apparently my sis can only stick around for part of it, but whatever. I'm just happy to have her around. But it's going to be myself, Jackson, Idiot, and Char playing some Fall Guys. My goal is like 1,000 for Saturday. If I reach it and more, I feel like I need to make like a goal for that. Like I have mini goals for the different games I'm playing, but like if I get to 1K, I feel like I need to I don't know. I need to figure out something big for that if I do reach it. But yeah, that's going to be my big thing. I know other people are doing it. I know Mink is also doing it. And they, unfortunately, have an advantage where they can actually make things that people want. And therefore, they donate to get things like scarves. But I hope you'll still come by my stream and enjoy the vibes for game day as well. But we are currently playing through Ace Attorney Investigations 2. We're on the final case. So if you wish to play this game yourself and don't want any spoilers, I understand if you just want to look or simply, take off, go lie down, get a drink. It's whatever. I understand completely. BB, how are you? What were you doing this fine evening? Were you playing a visual novel? Were you watching people cook food while talking to other honeys? Were you playing spoopy games? Foods of my dude, yeah, okay, yeah, it's a foods one. I would watch a bit of foods things, but it was usually so when I first found my friend Makari, when they started doing their subathon stuff, because during subathons they did Fall Guys, so obviously. At the time they would let the stream run 24/7, and at night, people could either suggest YouTube videos that would play, and the mods would approve or disapprove, or it would be like tour videos or food videos, and that'd be a lot of what I'd end up watching. Especially, actually, I do remember clearly one evening because this is when me and Miss V Hayden had started dating. So I was staying over at their place, and many times they would sometimes leave the TV on. Or we'd be watching something late into the evening, and I would very often... I remember one evening laying there watching Makari's just after-hours sort of vibes stream. And I don't know, it just sticks in my brain. It's weird what the memories kind of stick to you. Spoopy game on Thursday. What's Spoopy game? What's it going to be? Is it the Poppy Playtimes? Is it the... anything else? I don't know the good spooky games. I know Silent Hill 2 got a remake though. That was very nice. But I do appreciate you coming by and sharing your audience with us again. We're deep into the later part of this game. If you wish for not spoilers, I understand. All right. Thankfully, you when I say you had good timing, I just came back from the restroom and we currently just have the evidence up. So we're not seeing any of the layouts of the current venue. And this is the first stage of evidence, so it's not later evidence. So if folks need to duck out, understand, I'm going to be continuing and trying to do the voices, though it will tear apart my voice. But we're about to find out something about the area in question. That's the best way I can put it. So if we're going to stick around, wonderful. If not, totally understand. But we are going to continue our playthrough now. The traces of human remains were found in the dirt, along with other signs of a body having been buried. So it really was him. Bones were also recovered from the home of Excelsius Winner. That's what was in the bag. Oh, he dug up the bones. Ew, there were bones in the bag? There was a corpse in the bag? Ew. Ew. No, don't want to think about it. Don't. And Eustace was right there too. Ugh. Nope. The physique looks to be about right, and dental medical records are a match. It's him, no doubt about it. So I suspected the real President Wang was killed 12 years ago, and the SS5 kidnapping was in fact a homicide.
Wow, so it really was a murder. This case is taking so many twists and turns, I'm starting to lose track.
Yes, perhaps we should summarize our findings just to confirm our understanding everything correctly.
Good idea. Let's go over everything from the point where the president arrived at the orphanage.
12 years ago, the real President Wang visited the orphanage. His aim to meet his infant son. The footprints we originally assumed to be those of Mr. Aldown seem like to have been made by the president up until his arrival. But instead of being greeted by his child, he was met by the assassin, Bodhidharma Canis.
That's so sad. He was hoping to see his baby for the first time.
Indeed, but at least Mr. Canis, we can be sure that the job was swiftly and efficiently completed. But then, after the assassination, another tragedy occurred.
Mr. Aldown's murder.
Yes! It seems he witnessed a key moment in the evening's proceedings. The moment when the culprits, the so-called kidnappers, took the president's body around the side of the building. That was the site that sealed his fate. Now we've established that he was standing by the orphanage gates at the time. Far enough away that he believed that he was seeing what the president's far enough away that he believed what he was seeing was the president's abduction. At which point,
the body devil had come to meet his co-conspirators, walked right up behind Mr. Aldown,
leading to our fortunate eyewitness
being murdered by the man who was plotting to replace the president. So was it the body devil who moved Mr. Aldown's body too?
Yes, I think it probably was.
But none of the footprints could have been his, could they?
Actually, I think they could. In fact, we have a piece of evidence that proves how that particular trick was achieved. What shows how the body double managed to move the body without leaving any footprints. Was it he wore these shoes?
Take that!
Yep. What if the president's body double moved Mr. Aldown's body like this after killing Mr. Aldown? He could have carried him to the other side of the entrance. Given that his job was to look like the president, he would have been wearing the same shoes, meaning that if he stepped exactly the footprints left by the real president.
Of course. His would have been the same shape and size. It would have looked like a single set of footprints. But that's how it all went down. I'm so glad we finally figured it out. Wait, but there's one thing I still don't get. There is? What? Why did they need to pretend that there was a kidnapping?
Mr. O'Down had seen the president at the orphanage and left a message on Miss Ringa's phone describing what he thought he saw. It would have been impossible for the conspirators to erase that message. So, they had to make it look like the events described in the message were true.
By staging a kidnapping just like the one he thought he saw.
Exactly. I think the two people in the photograph are likely to be the body double and Fifi Lagarde.
She's the one in the trench coat. How can you be so sure?
The two of them would have had to walk out beyond the orphanage gates to stage the photo. The body double could have put his feet in the president's prints as he did.
Oh, so the other set of footprints were hers.
The ones we originally thought belonged to the killer, yes. They were about a size 9, too small for Chairman Winner, in other words. Which means the kidnapper must have been played by Warden Lagarde. And that explains how a so-called kidnapping was actually a presidential assassination.
It does, which means my father must have... He must have... noticed. There's no way he wouldn't have suspected murder. Especially not with the kid's picture as proof. But the picture was never officially put into evidence.
No! He appears to have kept hold of it after taking the witness's statement of the child who drew it.
Yeah, because he knew. He knew President Wang was dead. And he knew what would happen if the news ever got out.
Cheng Fa would have been plunged into chaos, no doubt.
So he kept it a secret, and that secret died with him. Even though it meant taking the blame for the kidnapping and our family's name being ruined.
So your father knew the truth about what happened 12 years ago, but he chose to hide it.
Well, it's finally coming to light at last.
Is it indeed intriguing? I'm gonna say this is Shelley.
Huh?
What?
Who's there?
Oh no. Is that a bell? Why haven't you changed your clothes? Ah. Bodhidharma Canis.
What the heck are you doing here?
We're the law. We're the law. Oh, Mr. Edgewater, you think you could show up in front of us like it ain't no problem?
Forgive me. I couldn't help overhearing the fascinating conversation you were having.
The opportunity to gloat over your past crimes was just too good to miss, I suspect.
You killed President Wang. I did, but it's not something I'm inclined to gloat over. It was more interesting in someone else you mentioned. Or someone else, I should say.
Ooh, someone you're looking for, I suppose.
Exactly. That's why I took a little sojourn from the penitentiary to find a certain young pup. A young pup in a rather eye-catching red raincoat.
Oh, he doesn't like the red raincoat guy either.
Wait, you know who they are? In a manner of speaking. What did you call them again? A secret mastermind?
Ah.
The prosecutor looks a little surprised, doesn't he, Owen? Yes, he does. The young pup I mentioned, he saved my life, 12 long years ago. As you have surmised, it was I who killed President Wang. But that meant that I too became an inconvenience in need of removal. The imposter president, Winner, Lagarde, all three were keen to guarantee my silence. And if I had met my friend the young pup again, they might even have succeeded. I wonder what he's doing now.
Ooh, so it was the president's body double who hired you. I remember his words almost as well as if they were yesterday. You know how many times I've nearly been killed? Not once, not twice, a bunch of times. Why do I have to take all the risks? Why am I the one they always have to put in danger? When I'm out there being him, people treat me like I was him. They worship me. So what's the difference? Who's to say I couldn't just be as good as him? There was a difference, of course. Even if he did look and sound exactly like him. Just because he walks and talks like a president, that doesn't make it a president, does it, boy? No. Ooh, so he's got his wish and became the boss, but couldn't quite fill the predecessor's shoes. Well, I mean, he did. You know. Rook's not around, that means I'm number one. I wonder if you have what it takes to step into such capable shoes. You, of course I do. I'm leader now, me. It seems the king and his knight were much the same. The president's double knew that his employer had a weakness. A young woman named Emily. But in order to find her, he needed to enlist the help of locals. Ooh, locals such as Chairman Winner. Once Miss Fen had been located, they simply needed to find the right time to lay their trap.
The meeting she arranged so the president could meet his son. That would have been the perfect opportunity.
Indeed. And with the head of the orphanage brought into the fold, their little conspiracy was complete. Warden Lagarde. Now, quid pro quo, where might I find the pup? What makes you think the boy who helped you and our Monsieur String Puller are one and the same? He set a little fire that night, out there in the yard of the orphanage.
Oh, yeah, we saw it. It was some kind of prank, right?
A prank? It was nothing of the sort, my dear. No, as I understand it, he had taken refuge in the igloo by the entrance. From there, he happened to see Winter and Lagarde carrying away the dead body. He also heard them hatching a certain sordid little plot. A plot to remove me, the only other person who knew what had really happened from the picture. Thankfully, he was kind enough to come and inform me. I was waiting inside the building, you see. He also happened to mention later on that he was wearing his favorite red raincoat. In any case, he escorted me from the premises. And being a very considerate boy, thought to erase both our footprints from the scene of the crime. It seems he had a little kerosene left aside in the igloo for such an occasion. So he spread it liberally around the place and set himself a little fire.
No way. So that's what the fire was for.
It must have been even so, ever so beautiful, when Lagarde positively enchanted. And while they were distracted by the show, he took the opportunity to usher me out of a side entrance. You never answered my question. You really think he's the one behind all of this? I do indeed. Don't I, Helmut? Yes, yes, I do. So, hold up. Wait. Oh no, let me look at the profiles. Okay. So this happened 12 years ago. So the kiddo had to be old enough to know generally what they were doing. And he was an orphan. So we're thinking between 6 to 10, right? So 12 years later, actually there could be 12 too, yeah. So 12 years later, let's say 18, which is on the young side, 24, 25 seems about right. And we have a couple of people that fit that bill. Bronco Knight was one of them. Wouldn't have been Rosie. Doubtful. I mean, they're still in that realm of possible age. It's not Will Powers. Simeon Saint still is a little sus. Still a little sussy-wussy. No. Wouldn't be Regina. Wouldn't have been Eustace. Von Karma. Nah, it's not gonna be Lotta. Shilong Lang, highly doubtful. Don't think he'd be an orphan in another country. Too young. Highly doubtful. No, she was old enough to be aware of everything at the time and took in the boy. Honestly, it's still... Simeon's the only one that makes sense to still be sus about. Because he was at the circus when we heard the explosion from the person on the phone. He's the right age. Something about it just feels accurate. Because he would also have known us previously. Right? Yeah. And he would have been out for revenge for Bronco. Right? Huh. Okay. I was one to kill President Wang. But that meant that I, too, became an inconvenience in need of removal. The imposter president winner, Lagarde, all three were keen to guarantee my silence. Couldn't you take them all out? But Mr. Candace, you're a professional killer, and a famously skilled one at that. Surely escaping even 3 attackers would have been little more than a minor inconvenience. You overestimate me, Mr. Edgeworth. You seem to forget that without Helmet here, I couldn't even walk down the street. Against 3 assailants, I wouldn't have lasted more than a few moments. I see. So even the most proficient assassins are ill-equipped to face a full frontal assault? We're not hugely fond of such situations, shall we say. I certainly would have liked my chances.
Hold it!
Again? So the two of you had met before? Yes, on a cold and lonely Christmas Eve 18 years back. "18 years. That's how SI7 gets into this? What the fuck? And he'd be an orphan because his dad would have been killed because he was one of the chefs. So it's Frost's son. That's why Frost's ring is there. Ah, okay. Having a moment. Don't mind me. That long ago. But on that occasion, it was I who saved his life. Hold on. I need to also check something. Okay. It was snowing. More than it had in years, and cold enough that death by freezing was a real possibility. I had taken Helmet out for a little walk. He noticed something and bounded off through the snow. When I caught up with him, he was sniffing at a car. The doors had frozen shut. It took all the strength I had, but eventually I managed to open one. Yep, the boys. Oh, they were kidnapped. Oh, bitch. And inside I found 2 young boys shivering and semi-conscious. 2? Yes. And had I found them even an hour later, the poor wretches would have never made it. I took them both to a nearby orphanage. Is it me, or is there something significant about it? There is. What's about Ken's statement that especially noteworthy? This was on Christmas Eve 18 years ago. You're certain of that? I am. Holy smokes. We have something that shows why that date is so significant. SI7.
Take that!
That was the same day on which a certain incident occurred. The murder of a well-known sculptor. No way. An incident in the aftermath of which 2 children went missing. The son of the victim, Artie Frost, and the son of the murderer, Carmelo Gusto. Yeah, now they mention it, those guys did go AWOL, huh? Intriguing. The son of a murderer and the son of his victim. I suppose that would make sense.
It would.
One of the boys was bound hand and foot, you see.
That must have been part of Mr. Frost's plan to stop Mr. Gusto's son from getting to the competition. Indeed, because without his son to taste his creations, Mr. Gusto would have no chance of winning.
So that was what was behind it all. Sadly, neither of the boys were able to remember any such details.
They weren't.
No, when we met each other again on that night 12 years ago, the young pup explained it to me. It seems that they really were on the brink of death when I found them, and the shock of the experience caused them both to lose their memories. They weren't even able to remember their names.
Wow, so they wouldn't have known that they were Mr. Frost and Mr. Gusto's kids.
If what he's telling us is true, that would seem likely, yes.
Which means we still don't have enough to tell us who our mastermind might be. Mr. Canis, would you mind telling us what happened next?
By all means.
The pup and I
remained in contact even after I was sent to prison. But then I stopped hearing from him. I couldn't help but worry. And then people from 12 years ago started cropping up all over the place. It rather piqued my curiosity, so I thought I'd temporarily regain my freedom and look into things.
Ooh, people from 12 years ago. You mean Lagarde, Winner, and the President, I assume. Well, Warden Lagarde was in charge of the prison, where he was an inmate this whole time, right?
I fear I wasn't as kind to her as I could have been. But then, she did try to have me killed. You already know that.
Ooh, because you murdered President Wang, but they needed the world to believe he was still alive. If somebody had exposed the President as a fake, it would have been bad for Lagarde and Chairman Winner.
Exactly. And not only that, I happened to overhear something else intriguing that night.
I'll be at the orphanage on the evening of the 9th. I'll be waiting in the front yard. I thought you could meet him if you like, even if it's only just this once. I know you're a very busy man, but anyway, that's where we'll be. Goodbye. Who are you? Sorry, I'm waiting for somebody.
I know you are, President Wang. I couldn't help overhearing the news. Congratulations. But please don't worry about your son. I only kill those I'm employed to kill, which in this case means you.
No. Wait, this is my first chance to meet him. It might be my only chance. Please, give me just a few minutes longer.
I thought he was going to beg for his life, but no. An interesting character. I told him I was not aware that he had a child. No, he said and shook his head. Neither was I, and the world will know that I have one now. I mean to make sure of it. I even prepared something in case the worst comes to the worst. And the son in question, it was the young gentleman with the horns here, correct?
Horns? You can see them.
I don't need to, my dear. I've been listening very carefully, you see. And for longer than you may realize.
Ooh, so the president meant to tell the world about Sean, and prepared something in case of the worst. That's not enough to simply have Candace's word on the matter. Of course.
We have something that proves he was telling us the president said is true, the will. A will everyone knew about. He entrusted it to my family to show his belief in us. The name in the recording, the preparations he had made, and his will. With those three pieces of information, I was able to convince Warden Lagarde to do anything I asked.
With information at his disposal, he could have exposed the truth about the body double at any time, and Sean's true identity with it.
President Wang was more agile than I had anticipated. He blocked my first knife thrust with something soft. By the time the piece that had broken off hit the snow, my next strike had hit its mark.
So it was Canis who told the horn off the Torosaurus doll.
I was the only one present to hear his final words. The only one who knew the truth about his son. Well, me and that poor pup.
To prison.
Hold it!
So you were able to continue communicating with him from prison?
I was, via post office box.
What's that?
It's a means of exchanging mail without revealing one's own address.
I never knew where he was, and I wasn't able to slip out and track him down. I was being kept under rather strict supervision, you see.
By Warden Lagarde, no doubt. What were the two of you been communicating about?
We were playing correspondence chess, of course. That and griping about our respective lots in life.
Correspondence chess. But didn't you used to play that with...
As unlikely it may seem, his kind of chess opponent was Mr. Knight.
Yeah, it was Mr. Knight.
We found the diagram of the game in his cell, too. So does that mean Knight had something to do with all the IS-7 business?
Wait, could that be it? Do you have evidence that might connect Knight to the I-7?
Yes, you do. I pointed this out an hour and a half ago.
Take that!
Happy Halloween. Hi, alright. I'm going absolutely out of my fucking mind because I'm connecting pieces hours before they should be. This is everything Knight left behind. Could there be a clue here somewhere? A ring in a chess set. Which one should we look at more closely? The ring! The ring!
What about it, Mr. Edgeworth?
Mr. Fender, take a close look at it if you would. It's design. That's Paul's trademark. Indeed! Looks like somebody turned the stamp he used to sign his work into a ring. But why would Knight been carrying it? And why was it not with the rest of the evidence in the I-7 incident? They tried to release Frost's personal effects to his next of kin after the case wound down. But if I remember rightly, old Frostboy didn't have any family aside from his kid. And the kid was missing, so they never got to hand it back to him. Not till later, anyhow. I heard on the grapevine they found him on the end and gave it to him in goods. Including the seal, it would seem. Which he turned into a ring and wore until his own death. So Knight was Frost's kid. Yep.
So we're saying Mr. Knight was Mr. Frost's son.
The cops don't mess around with stuff like that. They would have made sure before handing it over.
You see, B? If she said boo, would she be a booby? Oh, and now I have to do squats. Squat time. So you know, squat time.
Someone enjoys being in the room with me when I do squats. Get back.
And we were looking for somebody connected to the IS-7 incident who played correspondence chess right.
Wait, so our secret string puller is Bronco Knight?
Knight is dead. How could he possibly be involved in our current case? Far out. Certainly candidate is genius mastermind is the guy who already kicked the bucket.
That's impossible. How can a dead guy be behind all of this?
It is a little perplexing, but then who else could it be?
Hello there. Hold it!
He stopped responding. That seems strange.
I'm glad you agree. Helmet did too, of course.
That big scary mutt really said that. What, like, woof woof, that's barking mad.
He does not need to talk in order for me to hear him, my dear.
He doesn't. Okay, well then let me ask you something. That look he's giving me, the superintendent's kind of scary glare. He's not trying to say he's hungry, is he?
He might be.
He might be. Mr. Edgeworth, help!
He really isn't fond of Kenneth's pet, it seems.
Yes, there's a good boy. Now, where was I? Of course, I suddenly stopped hearing from the pup.
Hold it!
It does all seem like a little too much of a coincidence, doesn't it? An attempt was made on the life of the man who is pretending to be President Wang all these years. Warden Lagarde murdered Bronco Knight while he was being held in the prison she ran. And Excelsior's winner, chairman of the Committee for Prosecutorial Excellence, murdered Rosie Ringer. And the more I think back, the more it seems at the time that some mysterious other presence was lurking behind all those incidents.
Yes,
Even from behind bars, it was rather obvious that something strange was going on.
Hold it!
You thought you'd temporarily regain your freedom. Could you be a little more brazen?
Yeah, even a thief would suggest to get away from something like, I thought I'd temporarily steal it.
Fear not, nobody was injured in the course of my escape. It wasn't necessary after all. I have my ways. Let's leave it at that, shall we?
Leave it! No way, pal! You escaped! I'll wet you right now!
And there'll be no need for that, detective. As soon as my business concluded, I'll return home to my cell.
Are you serious? Prison is supposed to be someplace you can just stroll in and out of.
Strange that you should say that. Weren't you the one who strolled in and tried and dig into my past only recently?
You... Agent Lang, Detective Gumshoe, I need to be able to question Mr. Canis further. Could you both try to remain calm for now? Sure thing, so. Kinda knew you were gonna say that. Fine.
I did so used to enjoy tapping out my little letters in Braille.
Hold it!
In Braille. That's how you wrote all of them.
Never met the Joker. Prison's not so prisony sometimes. That's right. I have the tools to do so in my cell.
Huh? So you have special tools. I never thought about it before, but I guess that makes sense.
And what exactly did you write about, if you don't mind my asking?
Oh, this and that. General chit-chat and chess moves, of course.
He wrote the chess moves in Braille too. That's interesting.
Speaking of chess moves, how does the piece you carve move yourself move the dog?
Perhaps we can talk about that later. For now, I'd like to know what happened when the letters stopped.
I sat in my cell and tried to imagine what it might have gone.
Okay, nope, still don't get it. Who does he mean? Who's this pup he keeps talking about?
Who indeed? It seems that not even Mr. Canis knows his true identity. We'd focus on what we do know, that there was a connection between the two of them. I'm particularly interested in that connection was maintained.
Tap out his little letters in Braille. Tapping out my little letters in Braille. Letters in Braille. Was that no? This isn't Braille. These little letters in Braille. Cover murder or Wang. Shin. What's unknown. Security camera footage. I feel like there's something to that Braille thing. No, okay. Let me push the first one.
Hold it!
Besides diagrams, your chess game correct. I see you've done your homework.
Oh yeah, he was playing Mr. Knight, right?
This ring belonged to Knight, Mr. Fender. Take a closer look at it. That's the kiddo's kitty for sure. This was evidence in the I-7 incident. The cops finally tracked down Frost's kid and gave it back to him. But if Knight was Frost's son, doesn't that also make him Candace's young pup? Or evil mastermind, in other words? No, he can't be. He's dead. There's no way he could be at the center of all this. Our mastermind is still waiting in the wings somewhere, biding his time, watching.
Oh, sorry, Mr. Canis. Guess we got a little carried away there.
Not at all, my dear. We found your little chit-chat most enlightening, didn't we, Helmet? Yes, yes. Back to young pup, who played correspondence chess for quite some time. All over the place. My letters in Braille. Wait, but then the correspondence chess wasn't in Braille. Printed rather than handwritten.
Objection!
You said they wrote all your letters in Braille, isn't that correct?
I don't mean to be rude, Mr. Prosecutor, but you do know about my condition, don't you?
That's odd, because the chess diagram we found in Knight's cell didn't contain any Braille at all.
Really? But surely that's impossible.
How so exactly?
Maybe someone typed Mr. Canis's letters out on purpose.
Meaning there may have been some sort of intermediary between the two of them.
So then...
Mr. Canis says he wrote his letters in Braille, and yet the letters received by Mr. Knight contain no Braille whatsoever. This suggests that there was a third party who typed Mr. Canis's letters out. Oh, guess it could have been worked the same way the flip side too, right? Whoever could have taken Knight's letters and turned them back into Braille? They could indeed. I think you and Mr. Knight were both communicating with this person, Mr. Canis. Mr. Canis, the answers you received.
Now, they were written in Braille too, yes.
Oh, so some mysterious middle person really was retyping Frogster's missives?
And that same person?
Might well be our secret string puller.
Wait, you're trying to say there's another hidden mastermind behind this whole thing? So it's this new one.
Bronco Knight, son of Audie Frost, is already dead. But what if the other child from the incident 18 years ago was actually who we've been looking for?
Carmelo Gusto's son? But who is he? And where is he?
If Knight were Frost's son, Gusto's son would have to be... since we were kids, when both of us were all alone. He doesn't have it. Oh my god,
I want a victory lap. I'm gonna screen cap. I'm gonna clip out what I said, like, I think the very first stream when we brought up the person in the red raincoat and actually focus on him. And I was like, there are 3 people. These 2 are weird, but I'm focusing on the 3rd. Oh my god, I love being right. Oh, I love being right. I love being right. Oh, I'm so good at these games. Fucking boss at this game.
You're white as a sheet.
Of course I am, it all makes sense. I know exactly who a so-called mastermind is.
What? Who? You have to tell us.
I can hardly believe it, but it's somebody we know rather well. The person we've been looking for is...
Take that!
It has to be. The person behind all of this. The person who forced Chairman Winter's hand by sending the letters to Rosie Ringer. The person who kidnapped Sean and Bug K and myself. The person who did the strangest thing of all. Who drugged Kay and carried her up to the roof of the big building. It was the monster.
What? Did you really just say what I thought you did?
Yes, the monster. That was the key to unmasking our mastermind. Oh, I almost forgot. We're doing a new show soon. I'd love for you to come see it, Mr. Edgeworth. I'll be joining Regina on stage for this one. That's right, the Big Berry Circus, biggest, most fabulous event in town. They have oodles of fun. Miss Lloyd, could I ask a favor? What, little old me? What kind of favor? You told us you recorded the sound of the pterosaurus breathing fire. Did you capture something on your tape recorder? Ooh, you go, Ruffles. Kept sounding big old beastie breathing fire when we captured. Sure did. Like I said, didn't precisely see the guy, but boy, did I hear him. Can we listen to the tape? You surely can. Let's see now. My theory has to be correct. The truth about the monster, the identity of the person behind all this. It's all falling into place. Miss Hart, you saw a giant eye at the window of the storeroom, didn't you? Yep, snap me a picture of it too, even if you can't see it right there. We can't see it right now, but... Detective Gonju? Oh, yes, sir. Your image analyzer, can we borrow it again? Oh, sure, but what you want to look at, sir? This photograph. Oh, gotcha. I'm on it. The clue we're looking for must be here. We just have to find it. Oh, hello. See, I done told you, Pterosaurus is his own dang self. Oh, yes, there it is at last. The monster commanded by the architect of the whole scheme. Monster? You found him in a minute. That he dang well real. Big bad bull himself. Objection! No, because that isn't Torosaurus at all. It's the eye of a different giant beast entirely. Take a look at this if you would.
The Big Berry Circus, Flyer. Wait, look.
You see it? The enormous lion balloon? That's the real monster. And the sound Miss Lloyd thought was the creature breathing fire is a hot air balloon engine. You're really gonna bring me crashing down to Earth like that? Oh, that's how balloons fly, huh? They burn gas to make hot air? They do! And our Cropper was able to use that balloon to carry Kay up to the roof of the big building without ever going near the elevator.
So this culprit, they've got something to do with the circus.
Circus worker, friend of the Bronxer, son of Gusto? Who, you're not serious. You forgot to mention the trainee animal trainer. It's hard to believe. That does make sense for the monkey, where the monkey's pulling the strings. But he's the one who's been pulling the strings this whole time. That's right. Simeon Saint is the one behind all of this.
Simeon? But everything, really? I don't believe you. We trusted him, and he trusted us. Can't tell me that was all lies. That would be too horrible.
I'm sorry, Kay. Who was that?
Hey, what do you think you're doing? You're going, old man. Nothing escapes you, does it, young pup? My congratulations, Mr. Edgeworth. But now that I know the truth, my business here is done.
What? No, Mr. Cadmus, wait.
Damn it, he's disappeared. Are you okay, Mr. Edgeworth?
Don't worry, I'm fine, but...
Damn you.
Are you alright, Sean?
He killed my dad. He did, right?
There's no easy way to say it, but... I'm sorry, Sean. It would appear that he did.
You won't get away with it. I'll make him pay. Somehow, some way. I'll...
Overruled.
No, Sean, you mustn't say such things. I'm sorry, Miss Edgeworth. You'll have to forgive us both.
Oh, I just put the call out, so all units on the lookout for Mr. Kindness.
I don't mean to hurry everyone, but we better be on our way too. Well, Mr. Prosecutor, where do you think we'll find our mastermind?
I suppose you're right. We should go after the mastermind right now. He said he had to practice for the show, which I guess means he'll be at the circus. But before we leave, there's something I'd like to ask you, Agent Lang.
There is what?
Once a beast has been sighted, the next step is to plan its capture. When we arrive, there's something we'll need to try and find as a matter of priority. And Detective, I'd like you to look into something that's been bothering me about Sean's kidnapping.
Oh, yes, sir.
I want to help too, Miss Edgeworth.
Good! There's somebody I'd like you to try and contact. If Saint really is our mastermind, we're going to need this person's help. Between our many encounters, I never suspected a thing, even though he was right there in front of me. I messed up. There's no other way of putting it, but I'm going to put things right once and for all. To be continued. Oh, wow. At the 3-hour mark entirely. Oh. I'm gonna find it. I'm gonna clip it out. I'm gonna edit it and be like, motherfuckers, don't question me when it comes to Ace Attorney. I know what I'm talking about. Sniff that guy out from a mile away. Oh, this is fun. Oh, this is good times. This is great times. This is wonderful times. Oh, let's go back. Let's go back to the office. We're gonna go back to the office now. Oh, that's. Oh no, my PNG. Oh no, I'm not there anymore. Go away. All right. So this is actually the perfect place to stop because like we're right at like basically at the end. Like we've got. Yeah, we have to have just one more like day in this. Maybe 2 like parts, but like no more than we need a single stream to finish. So this actually is working out exceptionally well. We're still finding mistakes, which sucks, but I do like this case. This case, similar to Great Ace Attorney, is actually connecting everything together in the end. Great Ace Attorney was like, it was more like kind of like tree branches reaching to one final point. Each one kind of connected loosely to the next to build up. This one, it feels like everything just is connected at once in one big. And the way that it feels like this is heading is when they came over for the diplomatic thing, right? I don't know what the body double's plan was. But Bronco was the one helping correspond. So he gets arrested, which means the correspondence starts to slow down to stop, right? And the reason he has the printed out chess move is because he still hadn't translated or gotten the translation to Saint. And that's probably what they were talking about in the interim. Was like, how you doing? What's up? You're my buddy. We're friends. Da da da. We were, found together. Yada yada. And he's probably just giving over the translation. Obviously, because they're the victims of the case from 18 years ago. That's how they're connected. That's how we found them initially and got them connected to this. Was there anyone else connected to that case in particular? Like, not really. And then, that was like, that's the heavy connection though. And then because of the connection, everything started to really unravel because Fifi started losing her mind because, it's Bronco. This guy has to be connected, which she wasn't wrong. He was. But she, much like Winter, just silences people who are in the way. And she had no problem disposing of them because she's already a fucking killer. And then Winter tried silencing. Rosie got pulled into this because of this event and those actions. Everything just starts to just snowball. And it's wonderful. But yeah, big lesson. So Wednesday is going to be the last day of this trial. It's going to be flippin' amazing. And then normally we would have
a Friday Fall Guys, but that's going to be superseded by the stream, the charity stream on that day. Do I have the? Yes, okay, I do have the explanation for the event. So here, I'll put it up here. So this Saturday, right, 8 a.m. to midnight, it's going to be Zelda for like 12 straight hours with a couple different donation activities you can do during it. I'm going to see if I can add more, but these are the initials. Then Fall Guys, okay, there's a bet for anyone to take part in. Okay, you drop 500 points before we get to a final of a show. If you win the bet, like if I don't win a crown, then I gift you a sub. If, however, I do win a crown, then on the honor system, you'll donate to Extralife. Right? That is the current bet. And it's going to be myself, Jackson, Idiot, and my VTube sister, Char. If I hit 1,000, I need to figure out what I want for an ultimate goal. But I do want a goal for if I hit 1K. But that's going to be Saturday. So the schedule right now, Wednesday, we finish Ace Attorney Investigations. And then Saturday is the 16, is it 16? Yeah, 16-hour Extra Life tournament, maybe 17, 18, depends on how I'm feeling. I'm going to snooze the ad break because we need to go raid someone. So the next thing is, who are we going to bother tonight? Who is currently doing the strems? Who is a good strem friend? Let's see, we have a couple peoples as options, but if we're gonna bother anyone, we'll bother our friendo Ed, who's gonna be part of the stream, right? And we've rated Ed a few times. We like Ed here. Ed's a good bean. So we're gonna go bother Ed. They're playing Luigi's Mansion 2 HD. They go bean. They've been in here many times. They're gonna be part of the collab on Saturday for Fall Guys, and they're very good Fall Guys being. Came in 4th, right? 4th or 5th in Alara's tournament. So go give that Nyan Droid some love. And I will see you guys again on Wednesday to finish up Ace Attorney. Right? Have a great evening. Thank you everyone for joining me, and I'll see you later. Bye.